Math 1 EOC Practice Test number 23. As part of a class project, Marshall surveyed 12 students at his school to estimate their exercise and television viewing habits. He created the scatter plot shown to compare the estimated number of minutes spent each day watching television and the estimated number of minutes spent each day exercising. Alright, so if we review the graph a little bit, it says exercise versus television. So the vertical axis, time spent exercising in minutes, so it goes from 0 up to 100 minutes. On the horizontal axis, or the x-axis, time spent watching television in minutes. Okay, so you can see 0 up through about 80 minutes watching television. Alright, so the more it looks like, if they spend about 90 minutes exercising, they only spend about 10 minutes watching television. And over here it looks like if they spent 80 minutes watching television, they've spent maybe 5 minutes exercising. So let's see what the graph does to help us solve this problem. Alright, it says Marshall models the data with the equation y equals negative 1.5x plus 121, where x represents the number of minutes spent watching television and y represents the number of minutes spent exercising. What are the meanings of the slope and the y-intercept for Marshall's model equation? Alright, so you can see that the slope is negative 1.5x, and then the y-intercept is 121. Alright, so it says x represents the number of minutes spent watching television, and y represents the number of minutes spent exercising. Alright, so it says select 2 that apply. So we want to make sure that we select the 2 best answers. Alright, so what are the meanings of the slope and the y-intercept? So the slope is negative. So it looks like x represents the number of minutes watching TV. So for every additional minute spent watching TV, the number of minutes spent exercising decreases by 1.5. So that sounds reasonable. So decreases by 1.5. It is a negative slope, so it is decreasing. So this looks like this could be a good answer. Alright, P says for every additional minute spent exercising, the number of minutes spent watching television decreases. So in this one, they've mixed up the exercising and television. Up here it says X represents the number of minutes spent watching television. And so this one cannot be an answer. Alright, for every additional minute spent exercising, the number of minutes spent watching television increases. Well, we know it has a negative slope, so it's not going to increase at all. And then S says, if a student watches no television, the model predicts that a student will exercise for 121 minutes. Alright, so no television means 0 gets plugged in for X. 0 times negative 1.5 is 0 plus 121, so that does work. So that's one of our solutions as well. Now let's check T and make sure. If a student exercises for more than 80 minutes, the model predicts that the student will not watch TV. Well, that's not necessarily true. They definitely watch less TV the more they exercise, but it doesn't predict that they will not watch TV. So that can't be decided. So let's go back and review. For every additional minute spent watching TV, the number of minutes spent exercising decreases by 1.5. And again, this is negative, so this one is true. And then this one, if a student watches no television, the model predicts that the student will exercise for 121 minutes. Again, if you substitute 0 in here, 0 plus 121 is 121 exercising, so that is true. So we can conclude that the 2 answers that apply here are M and S. So the answer for number 23 is M and S.